open. You see the new grill on there. Oh, new painted grill. So it's a look pretty good. Like the way it looks. It's got a gas to it. Let's see, the oil is pretty dirty. I'm going to try and work out how to use this. Right, so that goes on there. That goes on there. That on there. Into dipstick hole. I think that's suitably in there. Feel the pressure building. Oh, here comes the oil. Let it drain, I guess. So this could take some time. The oil is coming out. There's a lot of pressure there. See, told you there's a lot of pressure. Okay, so I guess we'll just leave that for a bit. And go from there. Oil is being taken out, which is good. Then we'll change the oil filter when that's empty. Put the new oil filter in, fill it with oil, then we've done the oil and filter change. I might get around to doing the coolant change today as well. Well, I'll have to raise the front up a bit because I suppose maybe not. I might be able to get under there. See how we go. Right, so the vac pump has finished vacuuming. So you see all the oil is in 4 litres worth of it. It's about right. Let's get the old cloth. And then we get covered in oil. Making sure you're wiping the pipe as it comes out. Don't make a mess. Like I just did, the inlet. So what? So I'll tuck that in there. Like so. I've tucked it in the handle with a bit of tissue in there just to hold it in place. Then we're going to take off the oil filter. Put the drip tray. Get that underneath. It's a 36mm socket for the oil filter. This is a cartridge type, so move out of the way so I can't do it. Make sure you're going the right way, which I am. Very good, there it goes. Hopefully this comes on nice and easy. Let's start with that. Get it to a point where it's, I can do it with my hand, which is now. Tray under if we can. and get my hand above it. For any excess oil, because there will be quite a bit of it. Drip trays there just to catch the oil and the filter as it drops. There you go. The remaining of the oil is come out. It's gone suitably everywhere inside. Because I didn't start the engine up, the oil was cold. Yeah, I feel it needs changing. I can see it already, it's disgustingly dirty. Oil off my fingers. Not a graceful exit, but never mind. Use that bit of tissue that I've got to wipe off the excess oil. I'll leave the filter housing to keep dripping into the drip tray and go from there. Obviously it would be easier if you were on a ramp, because it'd be right up, you can get good access to it. Get one of those pump action, there's a pump action oil drain trays you see on sort of like almost like a gearbox jack. Sit out on top of there and it catches oil nice and easy if you're on a ramp. Or if you're on the ground, you need a decent sized drip tray. Normally with a sump plug, you'd have the drip tray under there, you take the sump plug out, hold in the sump plug sort of against the thread so it doesn't come out until the last minute. That way it's not going to go everywhere. And yeah, let all the oil drain out. Then you take the oil, check the oil filter, take that off, place it with a new one, put it in there, and then top up your oil. So let that drain, and then once it stops dripping, I take the drip tray out, get hold of the filter and the filter housing, retain a bit, put the new one in, whip it in, tighten it back up, and then top up the oil, and go from there. Alright, that's dripped for a bit. See if we can pull it out. Using a clean bit of rag to work around the housing, because there will be a little bit of oil still there. Pull that gently. Getting your rag under, wiping out the housing. Whilst you're under here as well, just wipe any crud you can get to. You can use an engine degreaser if you want to. Would make life easier. Under here there's a lot, because I think they've when they did the oil change they didn't use a funnel. So oil was dripped all the way down the side of the engine. Ended up underneath onto where the gearbox mounts to the engine. It's covered it. So give that a good old wipe over. A little bit of cloth rag, maybe you want to use it as a time. We'll have to clean the pipes that are under here as well. Which I believe are for the aircon. They could be for something else entirely. I'm not 100% sure. What I'm going to do for a minute is that bit of tissue I'll put inside the housing, and the tissue will catch it, not the floor. Right. Let's have a look at this bad boy. Yes, suitably icky. Is there any particular way that goes up? So it just sits on there. what I'll do is I'll bring it over to show you the state of the filter. So as you can see, rather dirty. So it's definitely time to give the car a service, which I'm doing. I'll get some more blue rag and wipe the housing over. Take it off there. Front of that there. Wipe your fingers. So you think of oil? It goes everywhere. Alright, so we've now got more blue rag. Okay, it comes with that, that's cool. So, exactly the same. Comes with an O-ring as well, which you need to replace. Let's lower you down a bit so you can actually see me rather than just me head. Let's see what I'm actually doing. Push! Right, it's a new filter. Let's put that on top of the box for a minute. Let's give the actual housing itself a good clean, and then I can get to the O-ring which goes around the threads. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. Oh, more. Turn that for down. Okay. Get it dripping all into the drip tray. If you don't like getting dirty hands, don't work on cars. Or wear gloves. Which will probably make more sense, but I'm a get your hands dirty kind of guy. Right, let's try and get the O-ring out. Might need a pair of maybe a screwdriver or something for this. Yes, screwdriver. One screwdriver. When you're working on cars, always wear old clothes. Never wear decent clothing because you will get them very dirty. Or have overalls. Right, that's now got the O-ring. One O-ring. Get rid of. Try and clean out the best you can. New O-ring. Without trying to break it. Make sure it's in the slot. Which it is. Just using some of the old oil that's still in the threads go over the O-ring. It's always best practice when you're changing the oil filter, regardless if it's a cartridge type or bottle type, whatever type it is. If it's got a seal on it, a little rubber seal, always put some of the old oil on it. Stops it from drying out. And if you've got a dry O-ring, itchy nose, it's not going to seal properly. Yeah, the plug on. Tells you a certain way it goes in. put these little tabs on the bottom. That's on there. Look at the state of the other ones. Yeah, exactly the same. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll whip that into where it needs to go. Also avoiding getting any debris into the threads or anything. Because it won't like it. Won't do it correctly. Get your tissue out. Because you don't want to do it too tight. You never get it back off again when you're doing your next service. Which is not good. If you haven't got a 36mm socket, there is a little area around where the bottom of the threads are. You can probably try and get an oil wrench. It's like a little bit of rubber belt. You can get it around on there like you would with a normal style filter that you normally see on most cars, which I call the bottle filters. Okay, so that's tight. There we go. It's tight enough. It's not over tight. It's good. You don't want that. After all that, I did put a little bit of oil on the floor, but I will clean it up properly. With any excess oil. MOT wise, they will be looking for any oil leaks, so best practice to try and get rid of that. So I will need to go underneath with some degreaser and get rid of all the oil leaks and check for any new oil leaks or any other kind of leak. So it's now time to put in the new oil, which I'll do. Then afterwards I will run the engine up, and then once you've run the engine up for a little while, got on all the systems and everything like that, then you'll top it up. Go from there. Right, now I've done the downstairs, it's time to do the upstairs. You powder? Yeah? Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. Right, now we're putting the dipstick back in the dipstick hole. Just lift the camera up a little bit more. Up and down. There we go. Got a funnel. So with this funnel, it's got a little mesh inside it. So it stops if there's anything in it. It kind of is. But it stops any oil, or any of those going inside the oil. Pop that in there. Now what came out was about 4.5 litres. So you want to put in about 4.5 litres, but you put in say you put in 3 litres. So this is a 5 litre tub. You get down to about 2 litres, and then that's when you start checking the dipstick, checking it going up. And when you get to that point, you go a little bit slower with the filling of the oil. You don't want to overfill it, because that's bad, really bad. When you put in a little bit in increments and check it, until it's at the maximum. Then you run the engine up, then you go through all the system, check it again, see how much is lost, and just put in a little bit more, just keep top up until it goes back to the maximum again. So here we go. There's a bit of push in the way, which is a little bit annoying. Go from there. Do it in little increments, don't want it to bubble. Because it will make an absolute mess. So I'm holding a filter, the funnel. I'm holding it by the handle when I'm doing it that way, so it's gulping. Ideally, what we want to do is do it sideways. It doesn't gulp it. Give that a go. Just check underneath. Yep. No gripping underneath, so it's not pulling out the bottom again. Which will be funny, but annoying, very, very annoying at the same time. Give that a minute. Oh. So yeah, obviously this is my project car. So let me know in any of the comments below what your project car is. It could be absolutely anything. Doesn't matter what it is. You could be building a Japanese JDM style car like Mickey, or you could be doing another Japanese car like a Sylvia, or doing a Volkswagen yourself, maybe a Ford, Capri, Escort, anything like that. Maybe you're doing a van, you never know. You might be doing a van, motorcycle. Love to see any motorcycles that anybody's doing, that'd be good. And yeah, just let me know what you're doing. Right, I think we've left that for a little while. It should be near the bottom now, so let's check the dipstick. Again, wiping it. Plonking it back in, and back out. Let's see if we've got anything on the dipstick. Oh yes, we've got stuff on the dipstick now. It's now at minimum. So this is now where it's going to get a little bit like Russian roulette. You just keep topping it up gradually, in little tiny increments. Let that drain for a bit. Yeah, I can't wait to get this MOT'd. It's going to be great. Driving it around. Because who doesn't like a V5? Just mad. Absolutely mad. When it had no back box on it, it sounded a lot like a Group B rally car. Audi Quattro came into mind. Now it's got this exhaust box on it. It makes a good noise. So when I do the startup bit, to let the oil go around the system, I will put you by the exhaust. And you can hear it. And I hope, yeah, that's my real truth as well, is I'm hoping that now it's not going to blow. Now I've put some of that exhaust paste on, and I've let it dry for 3 hours. Obviously it's drying under its own accord, not through engine heat. The reason why I've done that is because I didn't want to try and put any exhaust gases through, because it might just blow it back out again. So dry it on its own accord, then it's got nothing to stop it from being where it is. So what I'll do is I'll let that do a bit more. I won't put it up right up against the maximum because the ground out here is not completely level, so the car itself is actually tilting that way, so the oil is actually facing towards the back of the engine. And the dipstick's at the front of the engine, so I'll let it sort of sit slightly below, and then let the engine run, because if it was on dead flat floor, it would actually probably show now that it's at its maximum. So I don't want to overtop it. So I'll have it sort of about that much below. It probably is at now. Then I'll run the engine up and let it do its bit, and then top it up to the same level again. It should be all good. And then later on, I'll put it on level ground. I might have to take it out the front and quickly check, and then put it round the back again, because that's level ground up the top of the front of the house, where it is out here. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Right, let's check again. Wipey wipey. Checky. Yeah, so that is probably where I'll keep it for now. You can see, ignore the bit above the sort of hashy bits, but you can see where the level it's at, where it's lovely golden goodness. Yes. Alright, so now I'll leave it at that. I'll take the funnel out, put the oil cap back in place, get you set up behind the exhaust. Oh, back in you go. There we go. Right. Avoiding getting oil everywhere. Nothing more annoying than getting oil everywhere, because you get it all over hot parts of the engine. You're going to be burning oil for ages afterwards. Right, let's get the cap. Give the cap a clean. The cap's also good for a telltale sign if you've got a head gasket problem. Take the cap off, you look at it and you see anything milky, and you've got water going in. So your head gasket is probably toast. Or a water jacket, more than likely going to be a head gasket. Let it be clean over. Right, here we go. So it looks like the one underneath the car as well. I've solved the exhaust leak. It's dripping for some reason, but that might be the paste. But I don't know. Right, let's check the old dipstick. Go away, bug. One's flying next to my head. Yeah, that needs to be topped up quite a bit. It's understandable because it's a big filter. Probably lost half a litre just in the drip tray. Right. There we go. There we go. Give it a sizable gulp. shame really that I'm having to duck down, but I'm a bit too tall. Oh well. For you to see the engine plus me, I have to duck. But whatever. Just wait. Wait. I've made quite a mess. Well, not a mess. There's just all your rags everywhere, bits of blue paper. What can you do? Right, let's check again. Remembering that it's tilted up, so it's not going to be perfect. Don't want it to be to the maximum, because it will be over the top. We're not on level ground, so have a look. A bit more is required. Might end up using all of this. We'll see. Maybe I'll go get some more. Shouldn't need to. In the book it said about 4.3 litres. And that's a 5 litre doobie, so shouldn't need to. It's a lovely sized engine. It's a 5-cylinder V5, 2.3, and yet I know this is a reasonable sized hatchback. There's loads of space around it. You can get to most things quite easily, which is quite good. Same with the VR6 that they put in the older ones, and the R32, the 3.2 V6 in these ones. They've got decent size around them as well, so it just proves how big the engine bay is on these things. That you can fit a rather large engine in one of these. Never heard of anybody put a V8 in with them. Why don't it have to be a transverse V8? Unless you want to cut the firewall up and turn it into a rear-wheel drive car. Or if you get the full motion version, you've got full drive anyway. Then you've got to make a V8 to a gearbox that fits in as well. It's probably more of a challenge than it needs to be. So V6 and V5s, plenty for these things. You've got plenty of poke, plenty of what you need. Right, let's check again. Getting there, very close, getting there, getting there. It's almost at the same point as it was before, which I would, as a rough estimate, guess to be enough because of the tilt of the car park. Oh, if you're wondering as well, I've put a gazebo up. Well, me and Dad put a gazebo up because it's, even though the weather report said it was not raining today, it rained. Got enough British weather. And we checked about 3 or 4 different apps as well, and they all said it wasn't supposed to rain today. It's supposed to be cloudy with sunshine. But that's not the case. It's not raining now, which is good. As soon as we put the gazebo up, it hasn't rained. Which is kind of annoying, but it's good to have a gazebo. But it's still cloudy. A few dark clouds here and there. But yeah. I'd probably say the amount I've just put in there would probably be enough as a rough estimate. and then yeah, that'll be it. I'm not going to have time to do coolant change today, so that'll be another video. I could turn it into a part 3. Do coolant and cleaning up the brakes in the next one. So I'm going to say that's probably enough there. Just do a last check, and then I'll see you in the next one after this. So just double check. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Happy with that. That's good. Okay, so if you like my videos, let's try again. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit the bell to get the notifications come through to you. Hit up any comments, because I want to find out what other people have got theirs out of their project cars. Bring on Mark 4 Golfs if you've got the same. See what you're doing to it. See if it's any different to what I'm doing. Any more V5s out there, whether it be a Mark 4 Golf, Audi TT with them, any of the earlier V5s with the 10 valves. So you've got those in there. Seen one that's got it in a Corrado. There's a Scirocco Mark II out there that's got a V5 in it, which is a 10 valve V5. Yeah, any of them, any V6s, any 1.6, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't really matter at all. Any projects, yeah, everyone in the comments, hit the like button, and please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.